My name is Lida Winfield. I'm a professor in the dance program at Middlebury College. My work is a mixture of dance, theater, storytelling, spoken word, and visual art. I am also an incredibly learning disabled person. I didn't learn to read until I was in my early 20s. I graduated high school with a second grade reading level and very few academic skills. I didn't drop out of high school because of the art room and because I wanted to be in the school plays. In truth, I was quite well respected for my acting and dancing ability. The director at my high school even picked plays specifically for me. I was also dancing 3 or 4 evenings a week in a multi-generational dance theater company of all women. My best friend and I were the youngest members of this company at age 14, and the oldest was 80. I was blessed not only to dance with these women, but to hear them talk about their lives, their careers, their lovers, heartache, menopause, and triumphant moments. When I was dancing with them or rehearsing for a play in the school auditorium, I felt alive. I felt a pull inside myself that allowed me to know that the world is bigger and more vast than the limitations of my classroom. I spent my days feeling invisible and my afternoons feeling like a star. Every child with a social, physical, emotional, behavioral, or learning disability was tucked in the same special ed classroom. In truth, we were angry children, and there was enough of us that we were a very powerful force. There were many teachers and aides that cared tremendously about each of us, but there was not enough money, time, energy, or resources to teach us in the individualized ways that we needed to learn, so we were just. I am not drowning at this point, but I am also not swimming. Our anger took on the form of cigarette smoking, table turning, chair tossing, and a general disrespect to authorities and adults. I am sitting in this stupid auditorium, in this stupid hat, in this stupid gown with these stupid people, and I can look up and I can see my father and my sister and Sally Gray, a woman that diagnosed me with dyslexia in the 2nd grade. They're up there clapping, cheering for me to get my diploma, and I am so angry because this is so stupid, because I have not learned anything in order to get this stupid piece of paper, and when I hold it in my hands, I realize I cannot actually read what it says. And so I make the choice to get myself boyfriend number 8053. He works at the local public library and he reads these really thick books, so I think he might be smart enough to take care of me. I move in with him. My older sister has just graduated from Skidmore College. She's been given a Fulbright scholarship to go to the Philippines, where she's going to work to replicate the DNA of sea urchins. And my father has a new girlfriend that's just about to move in. And so I decide that I'm pretty much going to live with my boyfriend forever, and it's fine. It's fine. I get myself a job as a banquet waitress at the Sheraton. We have to wear these polyester uniforms with skirts that are too tight below the knee and too big above our hips. Thick black tights, white button-up collared shirts, vests and bow ties that tickle our chins. I am a fashionable person. On my break, I am smoking so many cigarettes in between crying. And I've pretty much stopped eating, because what's the point? when you are so close to drowning. And I come home to a boyfriend that it turns out really just smokes a lot of pot and plays video games. And that just isn't gonna fly. So my father suggests, let's just go casually look at this school in southern Vermont called Landmark. At the time, Landmark is the only college in the world strictly for students with learning disabilities. So I agree. But then when we're driving in the car, I start to think it's a really bad idea, because I bet everyone that goes there is stupid, and I bet everyone that works there is also stupid. And so if it's a stupid college for stupid people, run by stupid people, well then I don't want to go there. And I start to think if I do go there and I graduate from there and I'm applying for a job and someone's looking at my resume and they'll say, oh, you went to the stupid college for stupid people, and then they will start to talk to me like this, because this is how people talk to you when they think you're stupid. And so I decided it's a totally bad idea. I am not going to go, because I don't know if you know I'm really... And then we get there, and the woman in the admissions office, she has a mohawk. And so I think it might be a cool school. And she and I are talking, and she tells me she's dyslexic. And it turns out that she actually went to Landmark before she started working for them. And she tells me that when she was in her early 20s, she used to drive about 15 minutes out of her way every day before going to work, because it was the only way that she knew how to get there, and she felt like she was too old to ask for different directions. And I thought, I do that. And then she tells me she does not know how to spell the word broccoli. And I say, I don't know how to spell the word broccoli. And then I say to her, I just can't figure it out. Who was in World War I? And who was in World War II? And where is Vietnam? And who do you ask when you know you should know and you are way out of school? So I go to Landmark, and it's hard, because unlike high school, the choice is to either drop out or do whatever you're worst at. So I'm spelling, and I'm reading. I'm not really doing a lot of math, but I'm spelling, and I'm reading. Every student has a tutor. Whatever you suck at the most, you do that with them. My tutor happens to run the dance department, and so we get to meet in the dance studio, and she's really interested in kinesthetic learning. And so she teaches me to spell while I do jumping jacks, and she has me catch beanbags to study how my brain works, and I never once fall asleep in her class, and I start to swim. I start to swim. It is the first time in my life that I think I don't have to be an artist. I don't have to be a performer. I could be a doctor. I could be your doctor. At the time, Landmark is a 2-year college. You could get an associate's degree, but most students stayed for a full 3 years. I did an entire year of non-credit in order to gain academic skills before going on to college-level courses. And I am wearing my very attractive black gown with my very attractive black hat. And underneath I have this red dress with spaghetti straps, because even though it's December in Vermont, who does not need a little bit of celebration? We're all up on the stage for our graduation. There's only about 20 of us because it's such a small school. And everyone has to make a speech. And when it's my turn, I'm really just crying, because because it's such a big deal. Because I'm 21 and I recently learned to read. They call my full given name Lida Donaldson Winfield, Phi Beta Kappa. It's worth screaming about. So I start to think, and really I start to feel smart. Like maybe I'm as smart as my sister, who's just come home from the Philippines and is in the process of getting her PhD in molecular evolutionary biology. And so I decide that I'm going to go on to school. I'm going to finish my 4-year degree, because why not? I'm smart. I'm capable. I am swimming. I bet every single one of you inside this room has had enough lived experience to know that few things travel in a straight line. That learning is a process and not a light switch. So instead, I would attend a college where inevitably my fear and shame would grow. Shame for all the things I don't know. Shame for all the things I think I'll never know. Because the truth is, it takes a really long time to build up confidence and just a few seconds for it to disappear. And so when my fear and shame grew big enough that I could no longer breathe, I'd drop out. And it was then that I would further and expand my artistic career. I've danced in companies, I've traveled, I've run my own studio, I've taught and taught and taught and performed and performed and performed, and yet I would have this pull, this desire to prove and to conquer. I want to be as smart as everyone else that goes to college. I want to feel less shame. Attend a college, drop out, develop my art. It took me 12 years to complete my bachelor's degree. You see, the school that finally worked was Goddard College in Plainfield, Vermont, because I had been trying to go mainstream. I had been trying to go to schools that want to be Ivy League. I had been trying to have my sister's brain. But Goddard, like Landmark, is small, creative, unique, like me. And through all the years and all the heartache, my art stands, constantly carrying and growing with me. When I am making art or being creative, I feel gorgeous. I feel the way I think I should always feel. I feel the way I think we should all always feel. Dance, theater, storytelling, it is in my hands. It is in my gut. It is bigger than my brain. I see the world through a lens that is often different than others. As an adult with a slight bit of perspective, I think it is this difference, as well as the spirit of art, that makes me stand tall today. I graduated high school with a 2nd grade reading level. I still do not know my multiplication facts. I confuse my left and right. I do not know how to read a map. I don't know what an adverb is. I cannot spell the word broccoli. However, the difference is my shame. It doesn't pull me under the water in the same way it used to. I, like everyone else, own a GPS. I use a dictation system to write papers, and I pay a lovely woman to edit almost everything I type. Today, by choice, I am an artist, an educator, a professor, and a performer. This is not just a story about me. This is not just a story about dyslexia. This is a story about the transformative power of art. This is a story about how sometimes we are both swimming and drowning, and how in those moments when it is unclear if we are going to die or be successful, we grow. This is a story about intelligence, and how if we view intelligence from only one perspective, we miss many bodies and abilities. This is a story about believing that it is possible to reach one's arms so high out of the water that one is no longer swimming, but dancing.